Okay, I'm gonna try this again. I initially had did a video, and instead of it being 8 minutes long, it actually only recorded 8 seconds, which was fantastic. And the reason I'm going to pick up my computer, I'm using my computer now. I initially used my phone. I lost the transmission, and that's because give it a second to regenerate. Hold it, wait for it. Can you see that? That raging snowstorm back there? Yeah. Yay, Canada! All right, it's a snow day for the kids. Hooray. Okay, but that's why if you tried to watch my last submission and it didn't work, blame the storm. Blame Canada. I believe there's a song about that. Okay, today I wanted to give you some ad hacks now that I finally got my computer up and working. So here's what you need to do. If you're running an ad right now and it's not working very well, here's what you can do. Change the image. And instead of it being, especially if it's a stock image or even if it's a video image, change it to something, it's a picture that you would normally see in your regular newsfeed. Pictures of yourself, pictures of your family, pictures of your team, pictures of you in your car, right? Those are the kinds of things that Facebook knows that people like to engage with. Facebook knows that people love to share about their day-to-day, and people will engage with photos about their day-to-day. So what typically happens with a Facebook ad campaign is that you'll run it for a certain amount of time and then it will stop working, which totally sucks. So if that is something you're experiencing, change up the image and make it something that is more like a day-to-day thing, more like something that someone would see as they're going through their newsfeed that is not an ad, right? Frank Kern has been using this with very much success. Now he uses his family, and it's funny because there's haters who are like, oh my God, Frank's exploiting his family. Frank is not exploiting his family. He is full, of understanding from them as to that they're going to be used on these images. But what it does is when you see an ad from Frank, it doesn't look like an ad. And so you're drawn in to the message and you actually read it, and there you go, right? Frank wins because he's been able to get you to read his message. Same with your stuff, right? So I work with a lot of realtors, and a lot of realtors love to put pictures of their homes, right? And pictures of homes do work really well. But what you should also test is a picture of you, your team, going about your day, all those kinds of things, because that's what people would expect to see from their friends on Facebook. So when you're saying, okay, like what kind of an image, and maybe you're going through iStock or Shutterstock and you're trying to find the perfect image, just pick something that you've taken yourself. And here's another funny thing about that strategy is it doesn't have to have anything to do with the actual ad copy. So I know a guy who he had a picture of him and his little newborn son. It was really, really cute. It was awesome. And it was an ad about copywriting. What is that going to have to do with copywriting? Nothing. But it works really, really, really well because people love to look at babies. They love to look at pets. So if you have a pet, take a picture of yourself with your pet, right? My cat Ronnie usually joins me for some of these transmissions. You missed him on the last one. He actually knocked over my tripod, which was really helpful. But those kinds of things are what people expect to see from their friends in their newsfeed. And so when you present that, even though it's an ad, people don't necessarily see the word sponsored at the top. They're drawn in, and that's what you need. Ads do best, and your content does best when people linger longer. So the longer you can get someone to look in your ad or look at your content, and that's why videos work so well, because they tend to get people to linger a little bit longer. They spend a little bit more time watching a video. Even if they don't watch the entire one, that's okay. The whole idea is that this is what Facebook is gunning for. Facebook is gunning for engagement. Facebook knows that if you don't spend time on Facebook, you're gonna go spend time somewhere else. And so when you post content that encourages people to stay on Facebook, to engage with that content, then Facebook will reward you with higher reach, better ad performance, right? And a better overall Facebook ecosystem, right? So there's a really simple ad hack. Again, just to repeat it for those of you who just joined, change up the image on your ad with something that is more about your day-to-day. Okay, so again, it could be your family, It could be you in your car. It could be your pets. It could be your, your colleagues, your team, or whatever. And they're not supposed to be posed, right? As much as possible, try to make them unposed, almost like caught in the act kind of pictures, because that's what will draw people in. Okay, so that's ad hack number 1. Ad hack number 2 that I want to talk to you guys about is a little secret about how I build a very, very simple sales funnel. Okay, I have a new program coming out in April, and it's called Life on Fire. It's a 12-week program, and it is absolutely changing the lives of the people who have been going through it right now. Because I'm beta testing it. So here's how I'm going to sell that particular program. Oh, before I go any further, as again, if you can see up in the copy, I do have a program that is live right now, and I have a masterclass coming out today at 1 o'clock. The program is called Ignite Your Fire. It's $59 for the entire year. I've got tons of training on there, and every month, like today, I go live and I teach something brand new. So the link is above. By all means, please do join. Again, it's 1 o'clock Eastern today for the next masterclass. So I digress. How am I going to sell this new program, this Life on Fire program? What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all of the live videos, just like this one that I'm shooting right now. And Karen works with me on my team, and we're going to go and we're going to look through all the videos. Which ones did best? Which ones got the most 10-second views, 25, 55, and 75%? We're going to take the winner chicken dinner, and I'll probably reshoot it. Right, maybe taking little bits and pieces of the best videos so I know what messages really resonated and got people engaged for the longest. And I'm going to create a new live video, and I'm going to post it just like I'm doing here. But here's where things change. Instead of running a lead ad or a traffic ad, I'm going to run an engagement ad. And in that engagement ad, of course, I'm going to have all the links to a landing page. And on that landing page, I'm going to have an in-depth 20-minute tutorial, which goes into some of the things I'll be covering in the 12-week program, because people love to know what they're getting into before they buy, right? The program starts at $3,000. It's an investment. People want to know what they're going to get for that particular amount of money. And some of the people who are going to be watching that tutorial have never met me yet. So I need to welcome them in, build their trust, and also make sure that they know that they're getting great value. Underneath that little mini webinar are going to be 2 buttons. One where people can buy right away, and another one where they can schedule a call with my team, right? And then from there, we make the sale. That very simple matrix is all you have to do to generate new leads, but they're qualified, they're good, they're not tire kickers. And I work with a lot of realtors, and so, one of the questions that typically comes out is, if I'm a realtor, how does this work for me? Same sequence works exactly the same for you, and that call to action underneath that mini webinar, that 20-minute webinar, could be for a strategy call. It could be if you want people to want to directly say, yes, I want to work with you right now. You can invite them to a workshop, to a seminar, to an open house. I mean, the sky's the limit. What you need to assess for yourself is, how do you make money, right? So what is your flow in terms of getting people to make micro commitments all the way along, so that by the time that you're done and you get them on the phone, it's basically a sale. So you might not get as many leads as you would if you did, say, a lead ad that you put to a really big market. But you have to ask yourself, if you get 200 leads in one day, do you have the infrastructure to handle it? Not everybody does, right? So if you do, and that's a strategy that works for you, knock your socks off. But for most of us, we don't want to spend our time churning through a whole bunch of people who have no intention of buying. Instead, we want to make sure that if we're going to spend time on the phone with somebody, this is my phone, I don't have a phone, here, I have a stapler. If we're going to be spending time on the phone with people, you're going to want to make sure that it is as good of a guarantee of a sale as possible. One of the things I teach in the 12-week program and in my masterminds as well is that if you want to be a millionaire, you have to value your time at $500 an hour. And if you're not valuing it $500 an hour, then you're cutting yourself short. You're not going to get to your $1 million goal. And so if you imagine while you're going through and you are talking to people, so if you had to talk to people, you want to make sure that that relationship, that conversation will translate into at least $500 per hour, right? And again, in the world of real estate, usually the commissions for those are in the tens of thousands of dollars typically. But it works for everybody else. Like for me, it would work for the sale of my Life on Fire program. It could work for a photographer trying to get new clients, maybe who want to buy a package instead of maybe one headshot, right? So this process works for absolutely everyone. I hope you guys have found this really helpful. Again, if you haven't joined Ignite Your Fire, the new masterclass is today. I already did one in January. There's a ton of bonus training as well, so you're welcome to join that as well. I hope to see you guys later. And if you have any questions about any of the hacks I talked about today, by all means, do leave your questions below in the comments. You can always private message me too, but I love comments because often people have the same question. I love to be able to answer that in a public way. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let's all hope that my internet connection stays so that I can actually conduct my masterclass today, and stay warm. And for all of you who are in warmer places, I live vicariously through you. Take care, guys, and have a great afternoon.